giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. It's Victory Monday, baby. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. That's right, baby. It is Victory Monday, not Overreaction Monday. We don't overreact on the victories, only the losses. It's Victory Monday, and I am feeling great. I am feeling good, and so should you, and we're going to give you reasons for that. Coming up today, we're going to talk about that dub and discuss everything around it, including some standouts and who's invited to the cookout. A cool little segment we're going to talk about. Of course, we're going to go around the league, though, to begin the show and open up the lines for you guys to call into the show because it is Victory Monday, and I know y'all happy, right? I know y'all happy, so let's hear it. Let's hear it. Here's the line right here. 351-999-3787. Make sure you get it in where you can fit it in. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and mute that there. That way y'all can get up in here. All right, how's it going? I'm still recovering, by the way. If y'all can't tell, so y'all just gotta bear with me with my voice. I'm getting over game days. I feel like I'll never just have a regular voice the next day. Y'all just gotta deal with it, right? Y'all just gotta deal with it. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat early and often here on Dallas or A to Z Sports Dallas on the YouTube channel, on Facebook. Make sure you give me a follow if you haven't on Twitter. You can follow me right there at Skywalker Steele. I tweet during the games. I tweet after the shows. I'm on Twitter probably too much when it comes to the Cowboys, but hey, you know, I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to y'all here. I enjoy talking to y'all there. Already D-Link with the $4.99 donation.
Super chat.
Appreciate you. He says, Mondays are always better after a victory. Can't wait for the haters to talk about the refs when they were quiet last week. Bring on Philly. And you know what the hater I'm waiting to see. I ain't going to say his name. I'm going to see if he pop up in this chat. Usually that's not how it works. They usually don't pop up in the chat. Good morning, Stevie Matt, Kristen, Iceberg, Jamal, DJ Dog, Frankie Franchise. Excuse me. John, Brian Bradford. I see you, BB. I see you. We're gonna get to the cookout. No suit today. I know Mom Dukes. Yesterday I was talking about possibly putting on a victory suit, but we'll save those for bigger victories. Bigger victories. I'll put on the thing, you know. Mark Felix, what's going on, brother? Everybody saying big up to my second or third cousin. We're going to see where he at. We're going to see. Start off as my third cousin. And y'all know who we talking about if you're here on this channel. Largo, Chase, Alejandra, North of the Star, and the many, many more that'll be coming through. Oh, I see the hater in the house. I see you. I see you, hater. I'm not even going to say your name until you call into this show and give the props. Because we talked on Friday. And you said you was going to give the props. So come on in. Yeah, come on in. Phone lines are open, like I said. 351-999-3787. Man, that was a good victory. And we're going to talk about why it was a good victory. And we'll break it down today, tomorrow, a little bit Wednesday. But we'll start to look towards the Philly game on Wednesday, probably. But today and tomorrow is about the victory yesterday in L.A., which seemed like a home game. Right? The Cowboys fans showed up and showed out. Mark Felix said, drink some ginger tea. I thought about that. I thought about some tea, some warm water. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. What's up, Woody? All right, look. Let's quickly go around the league, though, because yesterday, again, NFL's back, man. And the primetime games have been awesome. And I got to give a shout out to the NFL. They're putting together a dang good schedule when it comes to that. So let's quickly go around the league. I won't hold y'all too long because today's about the Cowboys. So let's do it, baby. Let's start off with last night. That was a hell of a game. Chiefs lose 35-36, essentially because of a fumble at the end of the game. Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes, almost 400 yards, 3 tutties. Lamar Jackson over 300 yards total, 100 on the ground, 3 total touchdowns. I really do got to give props to the Ravens for overcoming. I mean, they couldn't beat the Chiefs, so salute to those guys. The Ravens and Chiefs knotted up at 1-1. Bills absolutely obliterate the Dolphins, 35-0. Tua got hurt. A lot of quarterbacks got hurt. A lot of quarterbacks. Bengals lose 20-17. Another game where a quarterback got hurt, right? Andy Dalton, who started off well, didn't finish the game. Justin Fields came in, didn't really do much, but hey, they got the victory. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Broncos handle the lowly Jaguars 23-13. Nothing spectacular in that game. Teddy threw for 300, which is a surprise. Texans lose to the Browns. Texans lose to the Browns. That's all I'm going to say about that. Rams edge out the Colts 27-24. It's not going to get any easier for Indianapolis. Their schedule to start the season is brutal. Absolutely brutal. And they have Carson Wentz as their quarterback. So, you know what that means. Raiders, 2-0. Playing some good defense. They beat the Steelers 26-17. Derek Carr had a scare. Thought he was going to be out. Nope. Came back in and played phenomenally. So, shout out to the Raiders. Patriots, you know what the Patriots are going to do to rookie quarterbacks. Zach Wilson threw 4 interceptions against Bill Belichick. If I was a betting man, I would have took whatever wagers in that Patriots-Jets game. They demolished the Jets 25-6, and it really wasn't even that close. Saints. Panthers. Panthers. Got to give them some props, man. 26-7. They are now 2-0. Eagles lose to the 49ers. And I watched most of that game, by the way. All right, I'm not going to go too far in because I got a film study with the Eagles and whatnot. So, but they lose 17-11. Listen, we knew when they went up against a better opponent, a better defense, it would look totally different, and it absolutely did look totally different. So thank you, 49ers. Falcons get obliterated by the Bucks, 5 touchdowns. I seen something earlier in the week where somebody said, hey, over and under 3.5 touchdowns for Tampa Bay, or for Tom Brady. What do you mean over under? You take the over against the Falcons? Come on. Last second field goal, no good for the Vikings. They fall 0-2. Man, Kyler Murray, we got to see Kyler again. I'm gonna be real with you. Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Tom, and Herbert, probably the toughest quarterbacks we're gonna face. Don't be shocked by the end of the year if Kyler Murray, am I saying he's better than these other guys? I'm just saying, don't be shocked if he's the toughest you face. The dude is really hard to contain because he's a little jitterbug. Titans come back. Shout out to A to Z Sports Nashville, fam. Titans come back. What a frustrating game. They win in overtime, 33-30. Derrick Henry, another ridiculous output. 35 carries, $182, 3 tutties. Just ridiculous. Russell Wilson was still a beast, too. 343 and 2 touchdowns. And then on Thursday, the Giants lose to the football team. So that is the scores around the league. I see some people in here already talking about Kyler. He says Kyler is so inconsistent as a passer. He's a big playmaker. That's what he is. He's a big playmaker, and he's got big play guys. You throw for 400 yards on a consistent basis. You run or you score for 4 or 5 touchdowns a game. That, you live with the inconsistencies if he's making the plays, right? And that's what he's doing. Kyler Murray's dangerous quarterback. And once he figures it out that he doesn't have to be Batman all the time, he can be Bruce Wayne. It's going to be scary for my man. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. All right, before we move on to the cookout, let's bring in our resident hater here. Come on in, Eastside. What you got to say, bro?
Hey, man.
What's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right? I'm doing phenomenal. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm all right, man.
Oh, you
deal with it, but hey, man. Dallas, they won. They squeaked one out, and hey, more power to them. I mean, every dog has his day. man, y'all got the same record as us, so just to let you know where you at. So for you feel some type of way, just to let you know you're 1-1, just like us. But hey, you squeaked out a win. I thought it was gonna be a annihilation by the great Dallas Cowboys, but hey, y'all won. A win is a win in the NFL, sir. So hey, I appreciate you letting me call in, but everything comes back around now. I don't want to get put on the block list.
Now listen,
a couple of weeks from now.
Eastside, did you not call in last week when the Bucks beat the Cowboys? I let you call in.
Hey man,
let you call in.
Yeah. Didn't I say I was gonna call?
Yeah, you know me. I don't run from anything on here. Heck, Matt from South Florida could come through and call back in if he wants. I don't run from nobody on here. Just don't be on here with nonsense. We'll talk it out.
I hear you, but you know I done made some channels stop their phone lines. So you say that now.
Listen, hold on, time out. But Eastside, this is a whole different ball game over here. I don't do the stopping lines from nobody.
Okay.
Okay.
But hey, man, y'all lucked up.
Lucked up.
And you squeezed one out.
Squeezed one out. That's the NFL for you. I just need to hear you say one thing. They beat a good team.
I already said you got the wins.
No.
What do you want me to say?
Because last week I asked you, are the Chargers a good team?
You got
said
the wins,
yes.
sir.
I said, then if the Cowboys win, I need you to come in here and say they beat a good team. So let's hear it. Let's hear it.
You beat the Chargers. You beat a decent team, sir.
Shut up. Say it again. Say something else. Oh! Say something else.
I decide. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, all right. I'll be calling again. Don't worry.
Okay. We'll see.
Everything comes around.
Hey, what my man Cat Williams say? Don't worry. I'll wait. Gotta love it. Now you just need some Eagle fans to call in. All right, we just need some Eagle fans to get up in here. But they're going to be quiet this week. Man, how about that excellent call from Eastside Herald, ladies and gentlemen? Excellent call from Eastside Herald. Now let's get some real Cowboy fans up in here. 351-999-3787. We're going to discuss this game. And now that we got that out the way, y'all know what time it is.
It's about that time.
It's about that time. It's about that time.
It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Yes, sir. The morning roundup presented by our good friends over at Texas Family Fitness. A solution for your fitness goals, whether it be for weight loss, strengthening up, to be toned up, sports or stress relief. Our friends over at TFF have everything you need. I'll be there later today, by the way. After victory, it's good to get a nice lift in. But they have state-of-the-art equipment, group classes, experienced professional certified trainers. And like I always say, if you got kids, they have a kids club so you can still get your gym on. So if you're looking to begin your fitness journey, do me a favor. Head over to any of the 9 locations in the DFW area and tell them that A to Z Sports sent you, Skywalker Still sent you, or you can visit TexasFamilyFitness.com for more information. Let's get it. Hey, real quick, can we give a shout out to Legatron? Quick shout out to Legatron. Like I was on his ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, man, he might have to get cut. And I know that's the emotions going and things like that. But ever since the first half debacle against the Buccaneers, Legatron, Greg DeLeg is 5 for 5 with the 56-yard game winner. And yes, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about why it was 56 later. But let's talk about the good. So, shout out to Legatron. Yes, Alejandro. Let's clap it up. Greg DeLeg, he's responded. Maybe the only special teamer that's responded since that debacle in the first half of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, hey, momentum is real with kickers. And if you saw in the post game, they did a video with Mike McCarthy, he gave Greg DeLake the game ball, and you saw the team rally around him, throw some water on him. Zeke is dancing. That's what it is about. You know, when one of your mates are down, you bring them back up. You celebrate them when they're winning, and you're there for them when they're losing. So I just love the camaraderie of this team, man. I really do. Shout out to Greg DeLake. Thank you. We got a new member in the building. Shout out to Primetime Phil, man. Welcome to the club, brother. Appreciate you. All right. Amari Cooper injures his ribs. Now, I will tell you this, guys. I haven't been on Twitter to see if there's any more updates with this, but going into last night, and I was up late last night putting the show together, there was nothing there yet. It's just that he injured his ribs. In the post-game show, initially we thought it was a poke in the eye. Someone said he got poked in the eye, but it looks like he has sore ribs. So that's something to monitor. The Cowboys do have an extra day before they play the Eagles, so that'll be an extra day of rest. But keep an eye on that because you're already down Gallup. You don't want to be down Cooper going into against the Eagles, whose defense is not a bad defense. Right? They're not a bad defense, but I'd rather have Coop is like an Eagle killer, by the way, but I'd rather have Coop and, not Gallup, but Lamb. And Cedric Wilson, I think, is going to be fine, number 3, so I'm not really worried about that. But just keep an eye on that. Yes, as Miss April said, by the way, guys, listen, if you are in the chat, if you're not even in the chat, if you're watching right now, do me a quick favor. If you're scrolling on your phone, hit that like button, man. It takes 2 seconds. Or if you're on a computer, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. It's going to help the channel out immensely and help give you guys better content as well. And then Micah Parsons. Wow. What a debut at defensive end. I feel like this is a discussion we are going to have all week. He was so good, and we have to temper our expectations, but he was so good it makes you wonder now. What do you do with him? He looked like Von Miller. Now, I'll give both sides of the coin. He was going up against a backup right tackle, and I talked about this with Jesse in the post-game show. Pick your spots with this. I don't think you need to do this every game. Pick your spots, be it in-game spots or matchup for the games. Next week may not be a matchup to put him at DE full-time because you have 2 bona fide certified tackles, right? Lane Johnson's a good tackle. Maliata is a good tackle. Mix it up with them, but he doesn't need to be full-time just yet. But I tell you what, he mentions it, and we'll talk about it here in the first word. He mentions how you can do this with the matchup base. And he's such a smart player. When the Cowboys drafted him, and a lot of people were, he hasn't played linebacker. And he can't do that. I'm like, guys, relax. Remember, he was a running back / DE, converted to linebacker at Penn State, and turned into one of the best linebackers in 2 years. Imagine what an offseason can do. Imagine what being in the NFL can do. Imagine with time, with real coaching and no offense to their coaching, but NFL coaching and veterans and things like that. Imagine his acceleration. Imagine what that can do. Micah got told he was going to be DE on Thursday. Said, let's go, coach. Let's get it. And came out there and did that. You got to be excited for this guy. You got to be excited for him. So let's hop into the first word where Micah Parsons talks about that and much more.
Definitely. I always try to provide some leadership.
That's not Micah. Let me pull in Micah real quick, y'all, and because you got to listen to what he said. I thought it was phenomenal. 1 second. It'll take me 2 seconds. It'll take me two seconds. There you go, brother. I think that's him now. Let's see. Let's see if it's fixed.
Start by talking about how different your role was in preparation from like Thursday on based on what it was Wednesday in practice.
After Wednesday, obviously learning to play linebacker. After practice, Coach Q came to me and was like, man, we're going to need you to step up big for us this week. And instantly I just said, all right, coach, like, let's play. You know what I mean? After sitting out a year, I ain't going to deny the opportunity to get on the field. So I knew my most snaps could come from me rushing the passer today, and I just took it head on from Thursday to today, prepared to be able to play at a high level.
Last time you played that much end?
High school.
Was it natural, or did you come back, or was there some rough moments for you?
I mean, a lot of it was natural. I mean, some people had a long day out there.
What was the best part of making that switch over?
The best part is really just reason why I say they drafted me. I mean, I'm just showing different versatilities what I can do. And I think, after today, we can open the playbook even more. I think my teammates and Coach Q put an unbelievable amount of faith in me, and it just keeps building my confidence up to realize I could do much more than what I thought I could do.
You look forward to moving around throughout the season? You look forward to moving around throughout the season?
Of course, manipulating matchups and taking advantage of the, matchups we got out there. I think that's what makes good football teams great.
Man, he's a special talent. He's a special talent. I truly believe that, and I think Cowboys fans should be happy. I know this going into this matchup, it was, hey, Tristan Slater's on the other side, right? And Micah Parsons, that's going to be a debate forever. And Brian says it could be similar to when the Cowboys took Tyron, but J.J. Watt was there. Both teams are likely going to be happy, right? And I think Cowboys fans will eventually, if you're not, be happy with Micah Parsons. But, man, just listen to him. Like y'all are saying here, some people had a long day out there, and he was serious. I'm not laughing. Y'all laughing. But I'm serious. Like, listen, dog, I'm that guy, but I'm not going to be arrogant about it, but I'm going to be confident. And DQ is giving him confidence. And shout out to DQ. We're going to talk about him, too. Dan Quinn, heaven sent, in my opinion. Night and day. But shout out to him. Shannon Sharp said, not the Shannon Sharp, but YouTube Shannon Sharp. Sky, did Joey Bosa play? Let's hop into the phone. Oh, before we hop into the phone lines real quick, let me give you the statistics on Micah Parsons. The reason why a lot of people are excited. He had 7 pressures, a sack, a QB hit, and 2 tackles at defensive end, pretty much full-time defensive end. First time doing it on a 3 days notice. 7 pressures, and he was moving Herbert off his spot a lot. The pressure in general I was very impressed with the pressure. I knew we'd see a little bit more of it this game because of the way I saw the offensive line compared to last week. But I didn't know it would be that much. So shout out to those guys. All right, B Bird, let's get my guy B Bird in here. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Sky? How you doing this morning, man?
I am doing fantastic. Wonderful win.
Yeah, it's a great day, brother. Great day. Hey, so we'll get into it. We talked a little bit about a debate last week about the pass rush, and I felt like we wasn't going to miss our Ds. I'm not here to say that, because I'll just tell you this. I think that Dan Quinn did a great job of doing some different things to bring pressure. So it's not just like we had 2 different Ds and that came in and just took the place, but he just did some other things to get pressure. Micah Parsons is our best defensive player. I said that last week when you asked me who was the best defensive player. We debated that, and I told you I thought Parsons was. He's just a talent. And the reason I found out, I was just by watching your show in the off season. To be honest with you, I never knew anything about him, and then you personally knew the kid, and then you just said that you watched him and whatever. And then I saw his combine numbers. I was like, how somebody that big run that fast? That's ridiculous. That makes no sense. And you got to realize that this guy is actually a freak, man, to be honest with you. And so when is the last time we've drafted a freak? We've never really had one where somebody that's really off the chart physically, man, with his abilities. And so it's great to have him. That's what I don't think we've ever really got the fastest guy in the draft, strongest guy or whatever.
Dez might have been the last freaky guy we drafted, but defensively, I can't recall.
Yeah, and so it was. I feel like when people was going back and forth with the upset over cornerbacks, Slater, I was like, no, you got to remember that we got the best athlete in the draft at our most needed position. And so I was good with the draft all along. Again, I kind of watched your show in the off season, and you kind of got me onto him, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a great draft pick. So he's going to be outstanding, and he's going to continue to do just to grow, man. It's just his second game, you know. One of the things I was going to tell you about, and this is more philosophical, but I hear I was on the message board and looking at some other things, and people's kind of complaining about some coaching decisions. And other fans were like, hey, we got to win. I truly believe that the way you approach the game doesn't change if you win or lose. Mistakes are mistakes,
right?
And those things have to be corrected, man. What do you think about that?
No, we talked about this in the post game, B-Bird. I would rather come out of a game with a win with things to correct as opposed to a loss and still have things to correct. And I think this was a really damn good win because I think all phases of the game did things extremely well, but all phases of the game also did things that you can come out and say, hey, we got to be better here. We got to be better there. And that includes the coaching. You know, I'm going to talk about it throughout the week here, but I feel like right now through weeks 1 and 2, I have to give a lot of credit to the coordinators. Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn, I think, are really doing a damn good job. And I think where the skepticism comes right now for me is Mike McCarthy and Bones Fossil. I just think there's decision making that's happening with Mike, and then obviously Bones. I don't know why he has so much power, but he could have cost the Cowboys twice now in back-to-back weeks. And last week it was a 60-yard attempt, which was ridiculous. And then this week it was trying to block a punt on 4th and 20. So those two worry me. Right now I am extremely encouraged by Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn. But McCarthy and Bones, man, I'm worried.
Do you think now, I got one more question for you. Do you think Bones is trying to make himself shine for a head coaching position or something?
Is he trying to be the next Joe Judge? I don't know.
No, a head coaching position at any team. Yeah,
right. What I mean is Joe Judge was a special teams coach.
Correct.
You know, now he's a head coach. I don't know, B-Bird. I'm miffed. Again, y'all know, if I ever get a press pass and I can ask questions, I will straight up ask Mike McCarthy, hey, why does Bones have so much say, or is it you giving him the go ahead to do these things that make absolutely no sense? So.
Let me ask you one question, and this will be it, man. Yeah. So my son, after me and my son and my family was watching the game, and my son was like, he saw me get upset over the punt block attempt, and I was like, why? I said, that's the craziest call. I said, you're getting the ball back. And then I went through my mind. My son was like, my son asked the question, well, Dad, when would you ever block a punt? I said, I don't know if I would ever go after a punt when I have a quarterback in the offense like Dallas has. You're taking the ball. It's almost like a turnover. And I don't even blame the guys going back there to block the punt. I blame the person that called the punt block. It makes no sense when you have an offense like it makes – no, it's none of their fault. It makes no sense when you have a guy that just threw for 400 yards, that has the weapons that we have on offense, both the running backs, both the tight ends, the 3 wide receivers. The line is, blocking well. Why would you take I don't even understand the mindset behind, hey, let's block the punt, and the head coach saying, yeah, go for it. It makes no sense to give this offense that's moving the ball, the ball back when you got it's crazy to me.
It is crazy.
I don't know I think that's worse than maybe the time management at the end, because you can get flustered in time. But that's what you had time to, with this punt block, you had time to strategize about that and say, yeah, it's a good idea, which is terrible, man.
There's nothing.
Can you speak on that for me, man?
There's nothing to strategize. It's 4th and 20 in the first half.
I don't even understand.
Of a game you're winning 14-11. It makes no sense. There is times where you block a punt. Your son asks, hey, when do you block a punt? When you absolutely need a punt block, right? Fourth quarter, you need to get the ball back, good field position. Maybe there's only 30 seconds left. You got to try to block it. Like, there's times to do it.
A defensive struggle where you're not moving the ball, or and they're not moving the ball. They're back on their own 10 or something. Whereas your defense, even if you do mess up and block it, your defense can stop those guys because you've been doing it all day. But I just don't see any other way to do it. And I'm gonna let you go too, Sky. I appreciate the phone call, but it kind of boggled me, and also with the fans, and I just hope that the fans don't. That's where we've been before, whereas, hey, we're winning. Why y'all complaining? No, we're looking for the future, and these things can't happen against great teams, man. And I'll talk to you later, brother. Good talking to you.
Thank you, B-Bird. Appreciate you. Yeah, there's ways to there's balanced approaches, and y'all know that's me. I like to come into these things balanced. We're obviously going to talk about the positives in this game and celebrate the positives, celebrate the victory. But I love that we can celebrate a victory, but let's see what we can work on and how do we get better from it. A lot of, in my opinion, what happened yesterday was the negatives in a way. Some of the players, some bad plays. Dak with the interception. Trevin Diggs has to, stay on his hip pocket here, giving up the big play. But in general, I thought the players did what they had to do. I thought they played great. I think the decision making with McCarthy and Bones was the biggest negative to come out that game, in my opinion. But like I said, there was some positives that went down. And if you listen to, and let me pull this up here. If you listen to the pregame show, I don't know how many of you guys tune into our pregame show. There was some things due to film study that I saw that I just felt that the Cowboys can pull this one out. But if you missed it, check it out.
Yeah. So that's interesting because, again, they do have to – it seems like they have to score 30 to win. But I think they're actually going to break that curse, if you want to say, today.
Ooh.
And here's why. Last week, where the Chargers struggled the most was in the red zone. Now, a different defense, and they had that weird fumble thing that went on down there. I didn't understand that. But they struggled in the red zone. They were excellent on third down, by the way. We didn't even bring that up. They were like 14 for 17 on third down. Dallas has to get them off. But I think Dallas can get it done today because this will be more of your quote-unquote, what everyone wants to see, balanced game, right? And I say that because I think they'll not only be balanced, but they'll be efficient on the ground game in the sense of scoring touchdowns on the ground. I just really, truly don't fear that front seven, and I think that they can get it going here with at least like 18 to 20 carries for Zeke, about 7 to 8 to 10 carries for Tony Pollard, and then Dak can be efficient in the air. He doesn't have to throw it 35, 40 times unless it's a shootout. But I think the Cowboys break that spell here today, and they'll win 27-20. Which means they will not allow 30 points, and they'll win without scoring 30 points. I see 27-20, and I see it because I think that the Chargers will get into the red zone, and they'll continue their struggles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes, a broken clock is right twice. But honestly, that had more to do with what I was watching from the Chargers than anything. I just truly believe that their red zone struggles, and I said it yesterday, I think halftime or after the game, it reminds me of the saying that Stephen A says, right? The what can go wrong, whatever can go wrong, or whatever he says, an accident waiting to happen. That was the Chargers. The Chargers can move the rock between the 20s, no problem. But when they get to the red zone for whatever reason, be it self-imploding, be it a decision-making by Justin Herbert, right? I kept saying, make him throw contested balls. Don't let him sit back there and pluck you with guys wide open, not 5 to 10 yards around him. And that happened with some chunk plays. But when he had to throw contested balls, they really should have picked him off 3 or 4 times. We know the bullcrap call on J-Ron Curse, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. That was a bullcrap call, by the way. But I'm just saying, I really thought they played very well, and they did those things. They were efficient on the ground. Dak was efficient throwing the ball, and they made the Chargers struggle in the red zone, and the Chargers struggled on their own as well. So, got to give a hat tip to those guys. All right, we'll get to a call, and then I'm going to go to a different segment that I hope you guys enjoy. Y'all can help me out with the cookout. All right, 214. What it is, what it do?
What up, Sky?
What's going on, man?
You got it, bro. Hey, happy Victory Monday to all the Cowboy fans,
yes,
you, Mark Holmes, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Boys came through like I thought they would. You know what I'm saying? Couple bonehead mistakes that a couple plays made, like running into the kicker when we was about to get the ball when it was like 4th and 15 or something like that. I mean, a lot of stuff to clean up, you know what I'm saying? But we got a lot of rookies making rookie mistakes. I don't know if that was a veteran or not, but it was a nail biter, but the boys stuck in there and they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? I also heard you on 105 through the fan last night. Big outs to you.
I don't even know how you heard my man. Listen, I listened to myself. My voice was so done. I was like, "Is that me?"
I heard. yeah, you did good, bro. When I think you was asking Broader some questions, and you know what I'm saying, you responded back and fed it to him. Bam, bam, bam. I was like, okay, yeah, Sky the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So, man, check this out. All the Eagle fans, they went hiding, man.
Of course.
They went hiding, dude. But I like what our boys are doing. They're going to clean it up. They're going to get better. Amari Cooper, I believe he just bruised his rib because I broke mine. And it took a month, to heal back. But I think he just bruised his because when he caught the ball, the way he was going toward the ground, those guys, I think they collided with him or something like that.
Yeah, I think something happened earlier in the game, and then he re-aggravated it later.
Right. But Mari, he's a warrior, man.
Yes, he is.
He can do his thing, man, regardless. That dude's going to play. He don't get the credit that he really deserves because everybody talking about, oh, he's a wimp. You know what I'm saying? He get hurt, he go out the game. You just got to understand, man, there's limitations of things that you can do. And that dude, he's a warrior, man. He's a warrior.
Absolutely.
He's a assassin. What is
Silent
it?
assassin.
What is it?
Silent assassin.
There you go. Yeah, man. But, hey, Cowboy fans, love it, man. Enjoy y'all day. And, let's get this other victory next Monday against those She-Goes.
Yes, sir. Let's do it, brother.
All right, man.
Appreciate you, dog. I seen somebody in here. Let's talk about the Amari Cooper thing. Let's talk about the offense real quick, passing game. We always talk about, hey, this is a week-to-week league. Some weeks is going to be about the passing game. Some weeks is going to be about the running game. Something that didn't pop up until literally game day. Like, I'm watching a game, and we talked about the film, right? Man, the box is light. They purposefully make the box light, which is why I was saying, hey, the Cowboys should run the ball on these guys and then be efficient in the ground or in the air. It shouldn't really be a 40 attempt type of game. But then our guy Mauricio Rodriguez wrote an article on why they do that and why it's kind of successful in a way in limiting deep passes. And I was like, eureka, duh. That's why he plays back. That's the Staley offense. It worked for our defense. It worked greatly in LA because you got monsters up front in the front seven. And you got Jalen Ramsey, right? They had a really good secondary last year, so it worked to wonders. The Chargers' defense is still growing, so they have deficiencies in certain spots. Now, the back end, it worked. Like, they got Dak, and Dak said, all right, see how y'all want to play this. Y'all going to keep playing back. I'm not going to try to squeeze it in there. I'm going to take what they give me. And he was efficient, 23 for 27. Like, that's what you have to do week to week. It's a week-to-week league. And I have to give Kellen Moore so much props because he's not this, I'm gonna throw the ball 50 times a game like a lot of people said. He's looking like a game plan type of offensive coordinator. He's growing. He's not that green guy anymore. So I got to give him kudos. Professor O was in here. I'll get you back in here, Professor O. But before I do that, there's not even really a new segment. If you're around here, y'all know I like to invite certain people to the cookout. A certain specific person is usually not invited, but we have to give that person some kudos. And what I mean by the cookout, like, listen, I'm throwing a cookout today, y'all, and all my fam is invited. Y'all all can come to this cookout. Certain players can come, but it really wouldn't be a cookout without. It ain't a cookout without little Frankie Beverly and Maze, right? It just ain't. All right, let me turn this down before I get in trouble by YouTube. But no, I gotta invite some folk to the cookout, and y'all know who I gotta bring to the grown folk table. I got my cousin, man, my third cousin Terrence Steele. I got to invite you to the grown folk table. There's a couple people at the grown folk table today, y'all. A couple people that I want to talk about here. Terrence Steele. Kudos to you, sir. Clap it up for Terrence Steele. Y'all let me know who's invited to the cookout from yesterday, but Terrence Steele's number one on my list. He can drink the 40s. He can bet. He can gamble. He can come to the grown folk table. He ain't at the little table. In fact, Today you my first cousin. I'll jump you up to being my first cousin because you play that well. Now I'm gonna go back and watch the tape and we'll break it down and everything, but I didn't have to call his name that much when I was watching that game. So salutes to Terrence Steele. Tony Pollard. Yes, I see a lot of people in here. Tony Pollard. You invited to the cookout, sir, at the grown folk table. Yes, sir. TP. TP 8. 16 touches. 40 yards, a touchdown, explosive plays, hitting the hole. I mean, he was everything you want in that COP back or in that second, that RB2 back, that lightning to Zeke's thunder. Tony Pollard was phenomenal. Averaged over 8 yards per touch. And they did the balance, in my opinion, greatly. Greatly. And then my guy, Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn, come on to the grown folk table. Hey, Dan Quinn be listening to Run DMC. I remember he was talking about, when they was in the meeting room, he told the cats to listen to Run DMC and recite the lyrics. So Dan Quinn got a little something too. So let's give a shout out to Dan Quinn. Short-handed. No Donovan Wilson. No D-Law. No Randy Gregory. Bringing Micah Parsons at defensive end for the first time in his NFL career. And I thought he dialed it up phenomenally. The first 2 games of the year, Dan Quinn's defense has 6 turnovers, and it really should be 7 or 8 if we're keeping it a buck. So shout out to Dan Quinn. Come on to the grown folk table. Get some spades in. You could drink your 40 too. You know what I mean? Go get your fried chicken. And come celebrate. So who do y'all think should be at the grown folk table? I left a couple spaces open for some more people. So let me get into the chat and see what y'all talking about over here. Curse and KZ are my +1, says Professor. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that Curse and KZ absolutely deserve to be at that table. In fact, those are probably the other 2, right? Those are the other 2. Curse. I'm trying to contain myself here because I'm just excited about this defense a little bit right here and really the safety play. The safety play has not been detrimental to your defense. You're getting plays made by the free safety. What? J-Ron Curse? He's looking like a playmaker, dog. J-Ron Curse is looking like a playmaker. He's all over the field. I don't care if you put him in big nickels, starting strong safety, big dime, whatever. He's playing himself onto the field. Michael says Micah Parsons. Yeah, Micah Parsons definitely at the grown folk table. He barely making it. He just now turned 21, so he barely making it. But I gotta give him. Special K says Hooker made some plays. Yes, he had 3 tackles. I believe a tackle for loss. The safety depth is, I can't wait to really dive into it. But, man, Malik Hooker, DeMonte KZ, J-Ron Curse, Donovan Wilson, you could tell Israel Mukuamu, hey, take your time, young guy. Take your time. Joshua says Diggs and Curse. Yeah, Diggs. So, Diggs is definitely invited to the cookout. Diggs can come play some spades, but I'm going to have to swap him out as my partner because in the second, that second half when we trying to get them books, he was sleeping. He was falling asleep. He wasn't reading the table. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, Diggs played well, got another interception. He is playing his way into being he's trying to make himself in that conversation with some of the best cornerbacks, man. That interception he made was great. It was just a great interception. He has tight coverage. He just can't lull himself to sleep sometimes. And that was something that we saw in Alabama. Somebody pointed this out. I think it was Crum, where he said he plays that trail technique utilizing his length. He did tip the ball in that deep pass, but I think he was just like, you're not going to go. And when Keenan Allen turned around, he turned around instead of just continuing to run and getting a feel of the receiver. But he's young. He's still learning. I think he's going to turn into a guy that you can count on one side of the field to shut down. Cedric Wilson says prime time, a couple catches, but, man, he took somebody's ankles. Hey, D-Dog, LVE, get up there and get your food. You right, D-Dog. DJ Dog, you right. LVE, and for real, Jalen Smith. And here's the thing. I struggle with saying he can come to the big boy table because he didn't do anything spectacular. And I don't want to give credit for C's, but he wasn't bad either. Like, Jalen did his job. When Eckler got mashed up on him, which is a mismatch, and he threw it to him, he tackled him. He didn't let him get loose, right? He seemed much more sure of himself yesterday in the run game, and he didn't miss any tackles. So I got to clap it up for Jalen Smith. Like, if I'm going to get on Jalen when he looks god-awful or when he looks pedestrian, I gotta give him some kudos when he plays decently, and he does his job. He actually led the team in tackles. And then LVE was second with 7, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. Like, he looked like a healthy LVE. And it makes you wonder if they used Micah Parsons in that DE role more often than not, you can have more confidence when those guys come on the field. But it's one game right now. Both of them look good, so you got to take it, right? You got to take it. I'm behind on here. Tez Pitt says Jalen could have had an interception in the red zone. I definitely wouldn't expect him to make that pick. That required a lot of skill. It was a bad throw due to the pressure, but he got his hand in there to knock it down. I got to give it to him. Y'all, man, Marcus said, come on, man. Jalen, listen, dog. He wasn't a liability. He wasn't a liability. Yeah, he did his job. Michael said, let dude call the show about Jalen. Please listen. I told him. I told him what he is, right? Like, call into the show. This is the show. This is the show for Matt to call in to give him his kudos. Diggs was like, wow, I'm definitely an NFL. Great pass by Herbert. Well, that pass by Herbert was ridiculous. I think it was rolling. No, he wasn't even rolling. There was no pressure on that. He just has a ridiculous arm. Unbelievable arm. So that's the new segment we'll roll with after Victory Mondays or what have you, Victory Tuesdays if it's a Monday night game. Who's invited to the cookout? I got Still, Pollard, and DQ. You guys got KZ, Kurz, some LVE, some Jalen, some Diggs. A lot of game balls to go around. A lot of game balls. What's up, Twan? He says 11 is a legend. Yes, a legend. He's going to be a beast, man. Legend. He's going to be a beast. All right, let's roll into the phone lines here. 760. What it is, what it do?
Hey, guys. This is Tommy from North Carolina, man.
NC.
I just want to say how awesome Kellen Moore is doing. He's just killing it, man. He's killing it.
Yes.
These week-to-week game plans he's putting up, the one against Tampa, just letting Dak do his thing, and then this week against Staley, which I know they do their too high safety thing, but I was so surprised they weren't dropping people into the box. It just didn't make sense to me.
But if we watched, did you tune in last week?
Yeah.
If you watch, man,
yeah,
we talked about it. Like he just refuses to drop anybody down there. At first, I couldn't figure out why until I had to read that article and see, oh, this is just literally a scheme. But it is what it is. It got to the point where, like you said, I was kind of like, all right, at some point, you're just going to keep letting TP just eat you up and Zeke, but that's what they wanted.
Yeah, man. It didn't make sense. It was just, I get it for the first half. They're getting some good runs. Zach Martin playing out of his mind. Huge shout out for freaking Terrence Steele, by the way. Terrence, I was real down on him all week. I did not think he was going to do well against Bosa, but he played good, man. I was super surprised and super happy he did.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Terrence Steele, like I said, he gets to sit at the grown folk table for the first time in his career in Dallas. He can sit at the grown folk table.
Yeah. The defense, man, just exceeding expectations so far this year as game plan wise. The way Micah looks, Micah is insane. Just
extremely talented.
Incredible.
It's
yeah.
He's a piece that really can be a linchpin to your defense because he can do so many things. He can allow you to do a lot of really unique lineups.
Yeah, man. And truth be told, I was one of those guys when we drafted him. I was like, I don't know that we need this guy. And then just going through training camp and these first 2 games in the preseason, it's just been like, oh, he's not just this linebacker. He is incredible. He is at everything, basically.
Man, when people like this, you weren't the only one that was worried that, oh, we don't need a line. I kept saying to people, guys, don't box this man into just a linebacker. He's a playmaker. Yeah. If I can tell you coming out of the draft, you came away with one of the top defensive playmakers in the draft, would you care what position he played?
Nope.
No. And that's the problem. People were, he's an off-ball linebacker. Guys, I get that there's a position value, but sometimes don't get cute. Sometimes it's just staring at you right in the face. A player is just so talented. Tell Tampa, don't take Devin White because he's an off-ball linebacker. You think they listen to you after seeing what Devin White is? He's a playmaker. So you take a playmaker. I don't give a dang what position it is. Screw your board talking about positional value. He is a playmaker, period.
Yep. Yeah. I was gonna Diggs is amazing. That interception he had on Keenan Allen was such a great play. It was so good.
Man, I'm excited for Diggs.
Yeah, I am too. Excited for freaking Kelvin Joseph to get back so we can get AB out of there.
Yeah, AB. I mean, he wasn't horrible yesterday, but the only real touchdown,
he wasn't, but
the touchdown that they got was because he can't. It's time. I mean, this is, you know. It's about that time to get AB up.
It's about that time. Yeah, man. Hey, that's really all I got, man. I just want to say I love the show. Everything you do, man, is just outstanding. Everything.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your content, man.
Thank you, sir.
You have a good one.
Thank you, man. You too. Appreciate it. Man, I appreciate you guys, man. I truly do. Thanks for calling in and continue to call in. Phone lines are starting to get packed up here, so hang on in there. I'll get to you guys. The chat is popping. Hold on. Did somebody say Greg DeLay invited to the cookout? Can you imagine? You know who Greg DeLay is at the cookout? He like the cousin-in-law. Don't nobody know that your cousin married. He come to the cookout. You like, who's the Poindexter? Who's that guy? Then he come over and you realize, oh, he cool as hell. Yeah, he cool as hell. Shout out to Freight Train. I think Freight Train might even be on the line with the donation there.
Super chat.
$9.99 donation. He says, Freight Train, the theme this season is all hands on deck. They would rather win ugly than lose pretty. Yeah. Yeah, you ain't lying. He ain't lying. I'd definitely rather win ugly than lose pretty. Absolutely right. Zoli says, there's something wrong with Boss Man for him to not see the field. Oh, Zoli, if you don't know, he's out due to hamstring? Groin injury. So he's on IR right now. Now, I was watching the chat as my guy was on the phone, and I saw somebody complain about Kellen. Now, I don't want to dive into too much of certain things, but it's a question. Are you guys not okay with Kellen the first 2 weeks? Am I missing something? Like, I would totally call you out. You know how I am. I'll call out a player. I'd call out a coach. But I think Kellen Moore is the least of the Cowboys' worries right now. I think you should be encouraged. Week 1, he goes in, he sees that this team is a ridiculously good running defense, and he doesn't force the issue. They call 28 run plays. Usually you're going to call more run plays and your quarterback will audible out of them. But realistically, even if they decide to stick to some, they probably would have only ran like 20, 21 times. I think they ended up only doing that. But you can't force the issue. It's a game plan league. He knew where the bread was buttered. Dak knew where the bread was buttered. Him and Dak are on the same page. Next week, He knows you're not going to get these big chunk plays because they play too deep and they're going to be light in the butt. And we talked about if they want to play that game, cool. Dak will just pick them apart underneath, and then the Cowboys' running game will get going. So I'm encouraged with Kellen Moore. Dre says he's been trash in the red zone. I don't know that I'd agree with that. I mean, again, are we blaming Kellen Moore for Jarwin not making the block? Are we blaming Kellen Moore for Dak not hitting the Zeke on the flat for a tutty? Are we blaming Kellen Moore for Tyron Smith, of all people, giving up a terrible sack down there? I have to see the all-22 version to see what the play was and if someone was open, but I'm all right right now. I'm all right right now. I don't know. I don't feel upset about Kellen Moore. What about the weird formation that worked once and they did it now? Okay, now listen, nobody's perfect. Like, there's not gonna be a perfect game plan. Dak's not perfect, Zeke not like none of these great Tyron Smith not perfect. You don't grade off of one play, right? You got to grade the totality of the game, and to the totality of both games, I came away fine. But that was a weird. I don't know what that formation they like to do. I don't understand that. Both receivers turn, face the quarterback, and just stand there. And then Dak actually threw it after 5 seconds. That was weird. I did not like that. That was a bit of a brain fart there. But overall, I think I'm okay. All right, man. Phone lines are jumping. What's up, North for the Star? 254. What it do?
What's going on, Scott? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Hey, man. What a great win yesterday, man. I was kind of at a disadvantage because I was at work out here in West Texas in here in these oil fields, man. But, hey, I got me a little spot and streamed the game.
That's how you got to do it.
And I watched it, man. Hey, we got to make it work. You know what I'm saying? But I noticed two things in that game. And first, with the Bones Fossil thing, is it me or does Bone Fossil do things to kind of want the spotlight? Like, instead of you just doing your job, punting the ball, fair catching it, and letting your offense do the work. Seems like he seems like one of those type of guys that I want to be the guy that called the fake punt. I want to be the guy that called the block punt. Like, I guess I'm not saying the genius, or he just seems like he wants to make that play, which sometimes is you got to have the Bill Parsons sales mentality. Do your job. Your job is to get the ball to the offense. Complete the fourth down. If you got to fair catch it, fair catch it. You got to do the Cole Beasley thing and just have somebody back there sure-handed, catch the ball, let your offense do the work.
No.
So that kind of bothered me about Bones Fossil, man. It just seems like he wants to be that guy that I'm the guy that's right. You know what I mean? And right. I don't think we need that right now. We need that. We need a guy that says, you know what? If you got to kick the ball out of the end zone, game one, instead of kicking it short, so your guys can make a play. No, kick the ball out of the end zone. Kick it out of the end zone. Give it to him on the 25. Do not put your special teams in the distance, especially on game one, because those are fairly new guys. So everybody on the special team, you're still feeling your way out on those special teams. So kick that ball out of the end zone. I didn't get that. And two.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go. Oh, okay. Two, the safety play. Okay. I was one of those guys that I seen J-Ron Curse, and I was just like, man, this guy is a journeyman. I really didn't believe too much in him, and my guy, Boss Cowboy, shout out to him. He was on J-Ron Curse from day one. And I really didn't believe in him. But then I start looking at him, and I start thinking, well, maybe Dan Quinn sees a.k.a. Cam Chancellor, 6'4", big guy, can move. Maybe he's saying, okay, you know what? This is my Cam Chancellor. I can rebuild this whole Seattle Legion of Boom 2.0 if I get my guys. And maybe J-Ron Curse could be that type of guy. Now, I'm not saying that, we just exit Donovan Wilson, but J-Ron Curse looks like the type of player. He's always around the ball. And I think that defense that they ran yesterday, you can get three safeties on the field and not lose too much in the run game and still get adequate pass defense. So that was things that caught my eye. And then one more thing that caught my eye was hey, we got to show love to Terrence Steele, man. Hey, he did his thing, and I mean, people were screaming that we had to start Martin on the right tackle, but Martin knew what he was doing. His position where he plays is at right guard, and he knew that if he can get on the same page with Steele, he can help him neutralize that right side. And I think they did a good job. And you can see it in Steele last year. He got better. I don't know what happened in the preseason, but you could actually see in the last year towards the end of the year, he got a little bit more confident in himself. He just needed a little bit more bricks in his pants. But
I think
he did a wonderful job.
I think having Zach Martin next to him helped him. He didn't have Zach Martin next to him in the preseason.
Right, and exactly. And it just goes to show you wonder, man, what if we did have Zach Martin game one? Maybe that run game would be a little different on that side, you know? Yeah, maybe Zach Martin, the loss of Zach Martin was bigger than we thought it would be. And I just really feel like I think that this team showed a different way to win. And that's all I wanted to see. I didn't want to see this air-it-out attack. You saw the weakness, and they attacked it. We all thought game one that, Kellen Moore just throws the ball around the yard. No, I think he saw weakness, and he attacked it. This game, he saw weakness, and he attacked it, and that's all we can ask for.
That's right, brother.
All right, Scott, man, you have a good one, man. God bless you, man. You're doing a wonderful job, man, and y'all keep up the good work and enjoy this win because we had 9 long days of sorrow in our wounds, man. So God bless y'all, man. Y'all take care.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for the call, bro. Have a good one. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Everything he hit the nail on the head with a lot of those guys there. Baby Cam Chancellor is what Mike is saying for J-Ron Curse. So I'm not going to crown him as a Cam just yet, but I just really am enjoying the way he's playing, man. He's definitely doing everything he's being asked to do. He's being around the line of scrimmage. He's rushing the passer. He's playing the run well. Honestly, this is the best I've ever seen him play in coverage. Like, there's times I'm like, was that Diggs because of the 27? He's moving like a corner, but he's physical like a safety. Like, I'm so excited about J-Ron Curse. It's ridiculous. He had 6 tackles yesterday, a tackle for loss, a pressure, a pass defense, a QB hit, and honestly, an amazing interception. Let's be real, right? Like, let's be real. He had an interception. They took that away from him. I thought it was crap, but it is what it is. 347. Welcome to the show. What it is, what it do.
Skywalker, young Jedi Skywalker, what's good?
What's up, man?
Listen, I'm not going to hold you long, but listen. Everybody is under the impression that it's 2020, that where Mike Nolan's DC, and they thinking that they're going to be running and doing what they want to do on the field. They need to stop. You know what I mean? And one thing is this. As we get all our pieces back, the chemistry is going to be impeccable, and we're going to put the beats on everybody going forward. You know what I mean? So that's it, young Jedi. That's all I got for you, my brother.
Appreciate it, brother. You're right. When we get these pieces back, you know what I liked most about yesterday? It was in my halftime notes, but it really was in my total notes. The defense is swarming and they are aggressive. Like, they are way more aggressive in my opinion than they were last year. They're swarming to the ball better than they did last year. They look more in tune. It's different. And when that's why I give Dan Quinn credit. When you're without 3 starters, and not just any old 3 starters, specifically your best 2 pass rushers, and you can come out there and limit them at 17 points. And I don't care that they had their penalty. That's on them too. Like, the penalties that happened weren't some question, like illegal procedure. That's on you. That's brain fart on you. What's the casting? Herbert holding on to the ball, catching the sack. That's on you, right? And I think it was one more penalty that cost them. That was on them. They went down there in the red zone 4 times, came away with 1 touchdown. And that 1 touchdown was Anthony Brown getting just manhandled and tossed to the side. The other 2 times they went down there, really were interceptions. So, listen, the DC and the OC, you have to feel good about, in my opinion, coming out of this game. You do. Yeah, and Clutch says it here. Wait till Gallimore comes back. Like, Gallimore. You don't got Boss Man, Randy. Now, D-Law is going to be way later in the season, but they'll be getting reinforcements. And, again, man, if this front can continue to generate pressure, they can continue to find their footing with Diggs, with the safeties, you can start to feel okay about the back end. I won't feel good yet until AB is likely replaced or he improves his play. AB worries me to death, but everybody else, man, it's looking pretty solid. All right, let's get Twan up in here. 843.
What's going on, Sky?
What's up, brother?
Man, chilling at work, man. Hey, Bo, I know everybody complaining about all kind of random stuff, but, man, listen, the way our defense is playing from this year, from last year, man, I don't give a damn what we do.
Right.
Also looking good. Dorrance Armstrong came in making plays. Bradley and Nye getting dirty. Bro, we got nothing to complain about besides AB.
You got the dub. I mean,
yeah.
And the defense has 6
penalties,
turnovers.
That's their fault.
That's their fault. Yeah.
Shit.
6 turnovers in the
man,
first 2 games, brother. We got to feel good about this defense right now, in my opinion.
Exactly. And Hooker, I think he played a decent game coming back for his first game, man. I like his game. He missed some tackles, but I think he can tighten that up later on down the season.
Yeah, he's got to get hit. He got to get some hitting, get used to bodies being. He only played, I think, twice in the preseason. So.
Yeah, and man, your boy TP, goddamn, bro.
That boy a flash.
That changed the pace back. Yeah, we should go ahead and keep this going. I know Mike McCarthy said he's trying to save Zeke till later on in the season.
Yeah.
Man, what the hell with that? If we can switch these guys out like that, game by game basis, keep doing it.
That's how I think it needs to be that way. I mean, you've been on this channel for a while. How long have I talked about this needs to be a two-headed monster, 2-back system, and that's okay. Like that. That's not saying that Zeke is trash. That's just saying that Zeke and TP is better than Zeke by himself, and that's facts.
No, both of their game different though. TP, that boy's the slashers, man. That boy's the slasher. Zeke, he get them 30 yards, and so far, man, that dude picking up blocks like blitzes like I ain't know what, boy. That dude doing good, man.
Yeah, he is, brother. He is.
That's all I want to call it, man. Keep doing your thing, Scott. You balling out here, Bubba.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
All right.
Special K said he made a tackle in the backfield. He's talking about Malik Hooker. And someone else talked about it. Yeah, I'll admit not too much to complain about. Just want to see more touchdowns. There's going to be games like this, Clutch, right? Like good, and then we talked about this. To be a good team, you got to beat good teams. I think the Chargers are a good team. And you have to learn to close out games, right? This felt like whoever had the ball last could put themselves in position to kick a game winner. But the Cowboys defense only gave up 17 points. They were clutch in the red zone. Now things happen. And honestly, I'm going to be real with you. When they kicked the field goal to tie it up, first of all, I thought they missed. Speaking of the Chargers, I felt like on that third and forever, the third and goal from like the 20 or whatever it was, I felt like Micah Parsons was held. So that could have kicked them back even more with a potential chance to lose yardage, to miss the kick. So it could have been even more clutch by the defense. But, it's really hard to come out of this game and be upset, right? But the beauty of it is you can come out this game, find things the Cowboys can work on, and you can watch them easy. Like it's easier to watch that. It's easier to watch the film coming out of a victory. Just is. Freight Train, what up, man?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Cowboy Nation, man. Look here. The theme for this year, all hands on deck.
Uh-huh.
The best thing that happened was the worst thing that we saw. We had injuries. It allowed these backups who have chips on their shoulders, like I told you on Friday, it allowed them to get in the game to eat. What I urge all of the Cowboy Nation to do, let me tell you something. Your haters, wherever you live, you know they're coming, baby. You know they're coming.
Yeah, that's happening. What
I urge you guys to do, go back and do your own film study. Look at the defensive line. Look at the offensive line. Let me tell you something. On both sides, those were a gang of goons. I saw 10 sacks that should have happened.
Yeah, man, they were pushing Herbert off the ball. Yeah.
Oh, it was ridiculous. And on the offensive side of the ball, man, man, look here. I'm a driver. I drive for a living. I'm a little laid up right now, get my knee straight so I can get back in the truck. But here's the deal. I saw some 18-wheeler holes that opened up. Still took it personal. Like I told you on Friday, they took it personal. He played well. My thing is, and we saw some of it coming on at the end of last year. Remember, where was he drafted?
Wasn't drafted.
Thanks.
Wasn't drafted.
That's what I'm saying. And my thing is, I don't normally talk draft. Let me tell you something. We're down here in the dirty. If we get an opportunity to get that joker out of Georgia, Davis, 6'3",
dude, I thought he was coming out in the draft this year. I'm sitting here eyeing this cat, but you're right. He may play himself into the point where the Cowboys can't get him, but that boy, man, him and Osa next to each other, my goodness. But anyway, go ahead.
Can you imagine? So my thing is, and like, so let's go back in. Everybody, I'm glad they're getting game experience.
Yeah,
this is the best thing that can happen. Remember, this is going to be a long season. Zeke out there, Pollard out there, people talking about, maybe they need to trade Zeke to the Ravens and all that crap. Let me tell you something. We got a two-headed monster.
Yes.
Man, look, we getting ready to eat, baby. We just getting our footing. We ain't even played a solid game yet. Imagine that, because we should be 2-0. Everybody know that.
Yeah,
like I told
easily
you,
won the game last week.
The league is on notice. They know what's getting ready to happen.
He ain't lying.
September's good. Give me December when we start playing. I'd rather play well at the end of the season.
Yeah, you want to string together momentum, so by the time you get to the end go through your adversity now, so by the time you get to the end of the season, you know how to fight through that adversity in season.
And look here, and the key is, let's be chameleons and be adaptable every week. So whatever we got, that's what we need to do.
Yes, sir.
Whatever team we playing, I don't care if we score 50. I don't care if we score 25. It don't matter. At the end of the game, win games and get better each game.
You're right, brother. You're right, Freight Train.
Once we play that complete game, it's a wrap. Let's get this number 6 ring, one game at a time. That's the end result, y'all. I'm out, man.
My guy, appreciate you. Week to week, we talk about it all the time. You have to be able to, and I'm never going to tell anybody how to fan. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. It's just something that I've come accustomed to. Like I said a while ago, I'm like, listen, man, just stay in the moment week to week. And then when I began to cover the team more intently and doing what I do, I literally had to be week to week. And it actually allows me to step back and kind of be more centered as opposed to one way or the other. I was naturally that way, but it made me even more so. And I think you have to be able to love this kind of victory. You have to, because there's going to be games where it's going to be tough, man. The offense is not going to score 30 points every time. And it happened, right? It happened. So it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. I'm just glad they found a way to fight through the adversity. Now, he brought up my guy, again, Terrence Steele. If you guys weren't here at the middle of the show, I got a cookout, and I invite some certain folks to the grown folk table, and Terrence Steele came to the grown folk table. Remember when we talked about this game coming in? How can you help Terrence Steele out without always sending somebody over there? The way to do it was to run the rock. It didn't always have to be at Joey Bosa. Just let Terrence get some momentum. There were certain plays where I was keeping my eye on him where he was firing off the rock just to get a body on a body, be it Joey, be it anybody. And then one play that stuck out to me, and I wanted to grab it and show y'all, was when Terrence Steele celebrated the touchdown. I think it was Tony Pollard or Ezekiel Elliott. You could just see how elated he was. He was hyped. He was excited. And that's how you can get a young, inexperienced, well, I guess he has some experience, right? A young tackle that may or may not have been struggling with his confidence. That's how you get that confidence built. You run, right? Like you run, you get him to put a body on a body where he's not playing retreat in the passing game, but he's on the attack. And again, I can't wait to go back to watch the film on a lot of these guys, but my third cousin, Terrence Steele, I really want to watch in the run game because I know he probably was really, I don't know, got to see the grades, but I think he was better there. And that's how you do it. That's how you help out your young players, help out your backups. That's how you do it. 770, what it is, what it do?
What's up, player? It's Fresh.
Hey, Fresh Fade?
Say that again?
It's Fresh Fade?
Yeah, Fresh Fade.
What's going on, brother?
Oh, man, everything is everything. Everything is Gucci. Hey, man, listen, I think one person that had an underrated performance, especially after last week of sort of being deboed a little bit, Tyler Biadasz essentially eliminated Linval Joseph, the guy that we wanted. You know what I mean? I think he had a really good performance. They were pushing him back like 3-4 yards. I think he had a really good day. One person that I do want to speak on, because I'm all for playing the young guys, like the young safeties and linebackers and corners. I haven't really been noticing Keanu Neal, man. I haven't been noticing him.
So Keanu showed up yesterday, but he did it in more of a Jalen sense, in my opinion, where it wasn't like he did anything wrong, but he wasn't spectacular. Now, he did make a play. I can't remember. I wish I could remember it in my head. I want to say he made either a TFL or just a big hit at the line of scrimmage, but his presence was felt on that play. But yeah, he's not flying around making 20 tackles a game. I think he's playing his role right now.
I think, though, this is what I think should happen.
Oh, he did have a tackle for loss. So he had 3 tackles and a tackle for loss. So that was the play I was talking about.
I think because he's on a 1-year deal right now, I think they should start sort of giving Jabril Cox some tick as well, maybe like 25% of the plays. Because
and play for Keanu.
I mean,
and are you talking about taking Keanu off the field?
Yeah, I think they should start. I just because think about. I mean, I just think you should the coverage ability of Jabril Cox. I mean, think about the tight ends you have coming up. You have the Eagles tight ends. You already played Gronk. You have Kelsey coming up.
Fresh.
You got Kyle. What's up?
You talking about the tight ends? The tight ends.
What's up?
Let me counter you. Forget the tight ends coming up.
What's up?
You got Daniel Jones coming up, Jalen Hurts coming up, Sam Darnold coming up, Teddy Bridgewater coming up. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, the tight end is the least of my worries with those guys at quarterback. Now you give me a Tom Brady, that's a different story because they can take advantage of that situation. I don't see the reason to take Neal off the field yet, right? He hasn't given me a reason to do that. So I know you like to play the young guys, though. You want to play the young guys.
Yeah. I just believe in Jabril Cox a little bit more as far as his coverage ability. His coverage ability, Neal is a leader. He knows where to line up and all that good stuff. I do not want to be in this position next year where Jabril Cox is getting his first real snaps, man. I want him to get some type of playing time.
It may happen. It may happen because injuries happen, things like that come up. It may happen, but we have to listen. There is a balance, right? Like, there's some young players that are going to have to play. There's some young players that just can't play. And this is what I said going into the year. If Jabril Cox is not on the field because the other linebackers are playing well, that's what you should want. You're right. Like, as a fan, you should be like, you know what? I'm glad Jabril is still on the bench because our guys are playing good enough, right? Like, let's be real. Coming out of these first 2 weeks, linebacker has not been a problem. It hasn't. Like, I haven't come out of these games like, man, our backers are just getting obliterated. LVE sucks. I know Jalen, the video went out yesterday and all that stuff, but Jalen hasn't been awful. Micah obviously has been good. Keanu Neal has been good enough. Like, I'm good. We're good here. Let's not try to force the issue with the young guys. Let it kind of come naturally, right? Now, if Keanu Neal starts to look bad, then you start to maybe experiment with stuff like that. But right now, you got the depth. Continue to just pound away at that depth until you have to go into that toolbox to grab a Jabril Cox. Honestly, the role that we all wanted Jabril Cox to play, he doesn't really need to be out there for it because Jaron Kearse is playing that role fine. Like, Jaron was one-on-one with the tight ends a lot. Now, he gave up the one touchdown, but he also had the pick that they called back. So I would rather just let Jaron play that role, let Cox continue to develop, and it's just one of those things, brother. It's just one of those things where everybody's not going to be able to play real snaps.
So what do you think is going to happen when Donovan Wilson gets healthy again?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. I think you just have a – I love Dono, man, because he's a playmaker too, but he's injured, and it's one of those things I'm like, hey, Dono, you hurt? Have a seat, man. You take some rest. Take 2-3 weeks off. We're good. KZ, Hooker, Kearse, we're good. Take your time. What you do when he comes back, I think – man, I think you just rotate him and Kearse. I know rotation sounds bad, but I think Kearse is playing too well to not play, right? Like go big nickel or big dime, but he's playing too well to not play. I'm not taking KZ off the field. I think KZ is looking like
KZ's good,
man. He's good, man. KZ's playing some good ball. Man. He's playing some good ball. So I just think you find a way. Again, it's one of those things. Everybody can't play. I guess you gotta live with this, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they did a good job, man. I really like the progress of the defense, and I just really like I just like the way the direction things are headed, man. It's just that it's a young team. They're flying around, making plays. Seeing Steele do a good job yesterday. I mean, he's a young guy. It's just in order for I guess my thinking is in order for this organization to sort of turn the corner. Right, and get that elite defense they want. Young guys is the way. You know what I mean? Yeah, free agency, of course. You have to have your guys in there, but I'm just excited for the young group of guys: Parsons, Cox, Steele, Mukwama, Osa, Diggs. I mean, you have a young team, a young core. I just want to continue that core or continue that, the playing the young guys because from what we've seen so far, the young guys that you are playing, it's paying off. Still last year playing most of the season. Look how it's paying off now. That experience last year helped him now. So that's what I'm going towards.
Still played because of injury. He wasn't ready. He was horrible last year. Yeah, it is what it is. But defensively,
I feel you. But that experience though. That experience,
right? But you're saying play the young guys. You're not really talking about context. You're just saying play them. I don't care, play them. Last year, only reason why Steele played is because of injuries. He wasn't starting over Collins. Like he wasn't starting over. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at. Cam Irving got hurt. He wouldn't have been still out there if Cam Irving doesn't get hurt. But let me go back to your defense side of the ball. You're right. To build a consistently good defense, I usher this. I always talk about this in the offseason. You have to build a consistently good defense through the draft because you have to have cheap labor, right? Like for 4 or 5 years. But you then, to make sure your defenses stay afloat or become really good, you have to throw in free agent pieces. That's just how it works. But if you want it to be good for 4 or 5 years at a time, you have to continue to build through the draft. And this draft defensively is starting to look really good. I haven't even give Osa his flowers. Like Osa showed up, and I talked about it in pregame. I said, this is the game I want to see Osa do his thing because their interior O-line, suspect to me. Yeah. And he had 2 quarterback hits. They hit the quarterback after not touching Tom Brady one time. They hit the quarterback 9 times yesterday. 9 times. Osa had 2 tackles and 2 quarterback hits. So salutes them.
You got to thank Parsons for that, man. Like this, Parsons played like we want DeMarcus Lawrence to play. So that's another conversation, though. But I'll let you get to the other calls, bro. We'll celebrate this week, man, and we'll see what happens.
Y'all gonna get off. Y'all gonna get off, D-Law. All right, Fresh.
All right, bro. Yep.
Oh man, yeah. Parsons played like a man on a mission. I called him the Tasmanian Devil yesterday. He just was everywhere. If Justin Herbert wasn't Justin Herbert, he'd have been sacked so many times. Now I will say this. Now this is and I'll get to you here 972. Then we're gonna wrap it up. I listen. He was great. There's certain quarterbacks he's going to have to be. And I don't think he's even going to be around for that. When I say around, playing DE during that time. But there's certain quarterbacks you can't just fly up and call it a day. And those are the Russell Wilsons, the Patrick Mahomes, the Kyler Murrays. Those are the types where you got to be a little bit more. It might have to be that muddled rush, and you gotta hope the interior gets there and make sure that those guys don't get outside the pocket. But nonetheless, man, Justin Herbert was just on the run, man, on the absolute run. All right, before I get to 972, if you haven't, man, make sure you like this chat. You guys have been like this stream. You guys have been phenomenal. Appreciate you coming in through here on this Victory Monday. Let me see. 972, what it do? 972.
Hey, what's up, Scott?
What's going on, man?
What's up, Scott, man? Happy Victory Monday, this Cowboys Nation.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's Tyrone from Urban, man. And I just wanted to give you your props, man, for you seem like one of the only people excited about drafting Parsons.
Oh, you mean Parsons. Yeah.
Yeah, drafting Parsons. Like, you were the one, like, I follow a lot of YouTubers, and it seemed like a lot of people were upset because they had their heart set on Horn and Surtain or Slater, but you were one of the ones that were excited about Parsons from the get.
The conference has been unlocked.
Unlocked it for you, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Everywhere. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. I was telling somebody in the chat they wanted to call in. Go ahead and call in, Mike. But continue, brothers. My bad.
Okay. No, you're good. But yeah, man, he's been lining up everywhere, man. On the line, the linebacker, he's playing coverage, he's rushing the passer. So, man, he's going crazy. But not just Parsons, man, with this defense. This defense looks different.
It feels
It's just not one player. It's just not one player, man. It's Quinn system, man. You know how back when we had Marinelli, I ain't going to talk about Nolan, but when we had Marinelli, we were playing this soft coverage, you know, this bend, don't break, and our defense was never getting turnovers because they weren't playing aggressive. And now they're playing deep. Our secondary is playing aggressive. We're getting turnovers, and I don't think the first week I was skeptical, like maybe it was just a fluke we got those 4 turnovers, but now I'm thinking that our secondary, we're making plays, man. So I'm hoping that we continue playing aggressive and keep forcing the turnovers going forward, man. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, you know why I didn't want to call it a fluke against Tampa? Because, and it's funny because I talk about the process, right? Not the result. What was the process of that turnover? Right? Was it just Tom Brady just throwing it to you like the Hail Mary? Like, I'll give him that. Like that one wasn't really a real one. But you got DeMarcus Lawrence punching the ball out, right? You got Trevon Diggs noticing the screen coming off of his man, and then the running back tips it up, and boom, he catches it, right? You got what's the other one? You got DeMonte KZ forcing the turnover. So the process to those turnovers were not fluky. Those were forced turnovers. So that's something you should be encouraged about. And I said, okay, let's see what happens this game. Same thing. The process in these turnovers against Justin Herbert, the Diggs, tight coverage, pick. In my opinion, I'm going to continue to count J-Ron Curse's interception. Tight coverage, tip, interception. DeMonte KZ, interception. Like, these are forced turnovers, and they come in bunches, and it's not fluky. It's not. These are plays being made, and that should excite you defensively, Cowboys Nation.
Absolutely, and we're aggressive. We're rushing the pass rusher. When Herbert was getting the ball out quick a lot, but when he wasn't getting the ball out quick, he had pressure on his face. You know, he made some incredible throws, really, to get the yards he did. But
incredible arm. Remember, it's so funny, guys. We talked about this all week. We said, Herbert's not going to beat you pre-snap. Herbert's going to beat you with his arm after the throw, and that's literally what he did. That's why it was pressure so dang on much, because he was running around trying to make a play. You know, whereas Tom Brady can beat you with his mental. I think the Cowboys, Dan Quinn got the best of Herbert on certain plays. I do.
Yeah, he did. There was some actually plays there. He did have a lot of time though. But I don't want to, man. Another thing, Anthony Brown, man. I'm not going to defend the dude no more, but it seemed the first week, man, he was terrible. He was really terrible. But he seemed to become a punching bag. Like, I don't want to hear any defensive slander this week. Like, can we let Jalen and Anthony Brown make it? Because
no,
Brown,
we
did he
can't.
have a bad game?
No, we can't let Anthony Brown can't let him off the hook, as my guy would say. No. Anthony Brown is clearly the weak link of this defense, and we were fortunate he wasn't called for a pass interference in that end zone. He was targeted. He was mousing the house this week, gave up the touchdown. Anthony Brown is clearly the weak link. That's just the facts of the matter. You just got to hope that your defense can overcome him being the weakest link, right? Like, you have to overcome that. He is what he is. In fact, there's more hope, in my opinion, for Jalen Smith than there is for Anthony Brown. I'm just being real.
He got beat for a touchdown? I got to rewatch the game.
Yes, the first touchdown that Herbert had, he threw it out to Mike Williams. And first of all, 1st and 10 on the 10-yard line. He's playing 10 yards back. What are you doing? Then he comes up, and he, instead of forcing the receiver inside to your help, he does this ankle grab crap, and he forces Mike Williams outside, and Mike Williams scores a touchdown. So all around, it was just a ridiculous play by Anthony Brown, but you got to come to expect 1 or 2 or 3 of those a game from him. Excuse me.
Yeah, I have to rewatch the game, but I'm liking our whole team, man. I'm really liking our whole team, man. And, I don't want to get too up or too down, but February 6th, man, we're going back to the SoFi. We're going to win that Super Bowl.
Woo! Hey, dog. I like it. Appreciate the call, brother.
All right, man, I'm out. All right.
Hey, I ain't going to be mad. I'm never going to be mad when y'all say it. Y'all know me, though. A lot has to happen, but I do like the direction this team is going. Clutch Sports said, man, first time in here, and this is awesome. Thank you, Clutch. Welcome. Come on back. Every Monday we here, 8 a.m. Central-ish, and then 8 p.m. Central, you got Mo Rod coming on later tonight, Sunday through Thursday, to give you his takes on the games and all things Dallas Cowboys. I did open the lines back up. 540. Get a couple more in here. What's up?
Yo.
Yo.
Yeah, what's going on? This guy.
Yeah, what's up, man? Who this?
What's going on? It's Mike's Meticulous. What's going on?
Mike's Meticulous. Hey, I don't think you ever called, man. Welcome to the phone line part of the show.
I never called before, man, but I'm just excited about this game, man. I'm a huge fan, Sky.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, hey, bro. Hey, listen. I just want to say I wrote down a few notes, man. Okay. First of all, I want to talk about Parsons.
What you got?
Man, his versatility is amazing. His versatility is amazing. He can play defensive end, and he can play linebacker. It's just an amazing thing for the Cowboys, man. It was a good pick. What do you think about that?
I'm convinced. I'm not even being a homer. I'm not being biased. I'm dead ass convinced he could play safety. Seriously.
Down in the box.
I feel like hell, he might be able to play corner at this. Like, he's just naturally talented that way. That's just, man, he's a freak. He's ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Another thing I want to talk about is Curse, man. Like, I'm a big Donovan Wilson fan, and I don't want to see my man Donovan Wilson on the bench, but Curse plays with that physicality, and then they compare him to Cam Chancellor, and it's like I see the comparisons, and I'm just happy that we have depth. Also, I want to give a shout-out to my man KZ, too, number 18. You know what I'm saying? He's been playing good the last 2 weeks. He's been playing real good, man. We got depth at safety, man. How you feel about that?
I love the depth. It's funny because going into the year, remember, I kind of was I was like this. I actually feel good about the safety depth, and then I will move on because safety talk around here is hot button because the Cowboys just don't get really good safety play. But when you looked at the talent, Hooker is talented when healthy. KZ is talented when healthy. We know Dono can play. Jaron Curse in a role I thought would be really fine in his role. In fact, he's exceeding that in my opinion. So now you feel even better about the safety depth with Jaron Curse playing the way he's playing. If Micah Parsons is your weapon X, right? If he's your weapon X on the front seven, Jaron Kearse is your weapon Z in the back end. He can do a lot of things for you.
Yeah, hey, yo, man, we got a lot of depth, man. I think we built this team the right way. When Tank went out, I think a lot of people pressed the panic button. But, yo, relax. We got Parsons, yo. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He can do a little bit of everything, huh?
He can do a little bit.
I
don't know if I want him there every week. And now that Randy Gregory's coming back, you're not going to have to do that. But like he said, you can pick and choose your spots to do this. You can mix it up in game, or if you're going into a game where a team doesn't have good tackles, you can throw him in there. He's just a great chess piece to have, man. He's a great chess piece.
Hey, yo. Hey, I can keep going on and on and on. I don't want to hold up the phone line. But listen, I want to say one thing, bro. I'm proud of TP20. Like, I was in somebody's live stream, and I was just keeping it real, and they was mad that I was saying TP got more explosiveness than Zeke.
But that's facts.
And I'm like, bro, you got to give TP20 more snaps. You have to give him more snaps, man. He looked good out there, man.
You're right, brother.
And I'm proud of Phil, too, bro.
Well, not me still, but my third cousin still.
Tackle, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right, man. You're right. Hey, listen, Mike, appreciate the call. Definitely got to call back in. You're always in the chat, so I appreciate that, man. Thanks for your support.
Hey, yo, Scott, take it easy, bro.
You too, man. Yeah, man. Swiss Army knife, that is Micah Parsons. I mean, who's arguing that Tony Pollard is not more explosive than Zeke? Shouldn't even be arguing with nobody with that, bro. You shouldn't. Below the Heaven says he never seen Wilson play like that. Yes, you have, Below. You seen it. You synced it. You seen Wilson play like that. It may look, I don't even say it may look different. It looked just like that. Flying all over the field, making plays in the pass game, plays in the run game. You seen it. Go put on the San Francisco tape. Go put on the Eagles tape. Go put on the Vikings tape. Donovan Wilson's good. That's why I was saying on the post-game show, it's tricky because Dono is good, but you can't ignore the way that Kearse is playing. You can't. 905. What it do?
Feeling hard not to feel good on this Monday, Sky.
You say you feeling good?
Oh, feeling real good.
What you got for it?
A lot of things people have been saying. I think there's a lot to be positive, things to fix, but the defense in general, something like losing D-Law was something we wouldn't handle in years past for some reason. So there's optimism there because all of a sudden we didn't know what our D-line depth was, and now it looks like you have depth. Yeah. And then maybe now you're unlocking something else with Parsons. And I'm not saying full-time you want to move him there, but when these games get serious and it's about getting the quarterback on the ground, it's something that the other team's going to have to prepare for. It makes our deal a lot more harder to prepare for, let's say.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. And that's why I got to give the hat tip to Dan Quinn, man. He's been heaven sent in my opinion. Like this isn't by accident because this defense is not full of Pro Bowlers. And he's getting real good play out of them, even with the 31 points. It's Tom Brady. It's week 1. You knew Tom Brady was going to score. So I wasn't even going into that game thinking they were going to hold him under 20 points or something like that. But to get those turnovers the way they did, to rally the way they did, and then to take that momentum and carry it over, we talked about it, brother. Tom Brady, it dips off after that. You got Justin Herbert, who great talent, but what did we talk about all week? He's a second-year pro. He's arrogant. He's going to try to make these throws. And yes, he's going to make some, but he's also going to cause some turnovers because he tries to fit the ball where it doesn't need to fit. So after that, Sam Darnold, not Justin Fields. What's the cat's name? Jalen Hurts. You get Teddy Britt. Like, the quarterbacks aren't going to be as good. So the defense has more opportunity to turn up. It's exciting.
Exactly. And then Anthony Brown, I think we've all stated, we know he is the weak spot. What I'm hoping the thinking is Dan Quinn's trying to figure out these other pieces. He knows what he has in Anthony Brown and hopefully trying to call a game to avoid his weaknesses. But hopefully when Boston comes back, he's going to get a try. I want to see Kennedy get an attempt. And even things like I wish they would bring in Mark, Nashawn Wright, like a red zone with Mike Williams yesterday. To me, that's would be a strength of his.
Yo, I said that to Jesse as we're watching the game at Texas Live. I said, after that play from AB, I said, dog, they're going to continue to target AB. Literally, the next two plays, he tried to throw a fade over to Mike Williams, and it went too high. Next play, he tried to throw a back shoulder to Mike Williams, and both of them are on AB, and it hit AB in the back. I'm like, dog, I really would like to see Nashawn Wright just guard Mike in the red zone. Just the red zone. That way he can, battle him, because I was afraid that he would connect one of these times on a jump ball, and it was all she wrote. Fortunately, Herbert didn't connect, and they continued their red zone woes.
Yeah, exactly. Another point, I don't know if I heard right. I think you shouted out, because you seen my comment. I'm north of the star in the chat. The Kellen Moore, for me, Cowboys are on notice, and Kellen Moore is going to be a hot head coaching candidate. If we don't make a deep run to the playoffs, there's going to be a lot of teams come knocking, and we're going to be forced to make a decision.
Listen, I'm convinced. This is, hopefully it ends better, but this is nothing but, I don't want nobody to think he's Jason Garrett, but the situation is Jason Garrett 2.0 in my opinion. Kellen Moore may be your head coach in waiting in Dallas. I'm serious. Like he could have went and coached. He could have went and coached at Boise. You get the opportunity to coach at your alma mater. He went to he went to Jerry and said, "Hey dog, they want me. I want them. What you thinking?" Ain't no way in hell you can't tell me that Jerry Jones didn't say, all right, first of all, we're going to make you one of the highest paid coordinators in the league. There's no cap on that. Number two, we're going to continue to groom you to be an NFL head coach in this league. Wink, wink, here in Dallas. I'm convinced. I'm convinced.
Oh, I think the exact same thing. I just think they would hope, maybe another year. I just don't think they want to be forced with that decision this offseason. But if you don't make it...
North to start. They will make that decision if Mike McCarthy continues to have these weird game management situations. They will make that decision if Mike McCarthy costs the Cowboys a playoff victory or the playoffs in general. Listen, Jerry don't have a lot of time. So, and I'm not saying that as if, but he's an 80-some-year-old man. You know what I mean? The clock's ticking.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing that, his offense is everything have been wishing for, right? We see McVay and all these people do new stuff, and we're keeping defenses guessing. And the defenses are really going to have a long week preparing for everything that Kellen's throwing at them. And you guys were saying about the Thunder and Lightning, and I couldn't agree more. And I really just wish people would, leave Zeke alone with the money. The guy earned his money.
It's a wrap.
The Cowboys at the start of the year have to be under the cap. Who cares what Tony? Just as long as they're not using him based on his money. We'll keep him split, ride the hot hand, and then no one should really care about his money.
Yeah, once the season starts, and I talked about that with Jalen, it is what it is, man. This is his role. He's just going to be an expensive backup. And with Zeke, this should be his role. He's going to be an expensive dual back. But he's still good. That's the difference between the other guy I've talked about. Zeke is still good. He still does a lot of good things for you. And you need that guy that can be physical and hit the body blows. You know what I mean? You need that sometimes. And Zeke does that. And he's phenomenal in pass protection, right? We saw TP struggle a little bit in that area yesterday, but everywhere else he was great. My opinion, best 1-2 punch in the league. It's good, man.
Absolutely. And sorry, now just thinking back to you guys were talking about Cox earlier, and just kind of how we were talking about Nashawn, right? Just get him into situations. Coming down to the end of it, and when you're going to have to face those good teams, and let's face it, if you want to be there, you're probably going to have to beat the Chiefs. We want Cox in the red zone and starting to get reps against tight ends, because come that time, we're not going to want Jalen on Kelsey. We're going to want Cox on Kelsey.
That's what Fresh said. Well, here's the thing. It may be Micah Parsons on these guys, because he's not going to be defensive end forever. You're talking about playoffs, right? You're talking about even potentially in the Super Bowl. That means that D-Law is back. That means that Gregory is back. And now Parsons can go back to being that guy who's your linebackers, and he's the most athletic linebacker you got. He can cover. Let's stop acting like he can't be a cover guy. He can cover. Now, is Cox the best cover linebacker that we've drafted? Sure. Right? Sure. But until I see Curse struggle, until I see Micah struggle, until I see Neil, struggle to the point that I'm nervous, I just don't see the point in forcing this guy on the field. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm probably getting ahead of myself, to be honest. I'm just kind of like how impressive Parsons was, like on short notice, and we're going to be forced to play him here with Lawrence out. So it's almost like I don't know how to say it, like if he just makes it like you can't take him out of that position. He's disrupting the game so much from that position. He might take it out of our hands that we can't really put him back as many times.
So you're saying he might, with D-Law out, he'll be your left defense end essentially.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's going to make enough plays and it's going to be like, well, we can't really, why are we going to change it, right? What's working is working. And not that he won't, like, he doesn't have to play every down. D-Law is going to have absolutely a role when he comes back. I'm not thinking, it's just going to be like, you got that nice shiny toy over there. How are you going to just try and only use it once or twice a day or something like that?
Nah, he rushed the passer 13 times in week 1. I thought that was about what's going to happen with him at linebacker, but obviously him being at DE, he's going to rush more. It was encouraging, man. He could be a Swiss Army knife chess piece. Again, I think first 2 games, you got to be happy about the linebacker play. It has not been a liability. If it becomes a liability, then I think you start looking into making changes. But right now, guys, I'm not concerned about the linebacker play. I'm more concerned about cornerback.
No, absolutely. I'm not concerned either. I was just thinking Cox more like just start getting him in maybe situationally, just because I think he would be good at that role, and that's something that in crunch time later, we're going to need that, right? Because even Jalen, he was in right position at the last play there at tight end, but it was thrown to his back shoulder. You throw that to the front, we don't know if he's making the play or not.
He'll put it this way. He'll be that Swiss Army knife you're talking about. He'll get utilized in that way. The conversation is whether you want it to be full-time or not, right?
Absolutely.
All right, brother. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, nice talking to you, Sky. Have a good week.
You too, man. Yeah, it's an interesting conversation because of the way he's playing. I'm gonna reiterate this part. If Cox is not coming on the field because your linebackers are playing well, that is good. That is good. Eric Brown says, what do you think about the clock management at the end of the game? Yeah, I can't believe I went 2 hours here and I didn't even mention it. It was bizarre. I tweeted as it happened. I said, absolutely brutal clock management. I was about to get you 832. Absolutely brutal clock management from Mike McCarthy. And that's the thing, man. It's been between him and Fossil. Come on, dog. And then hear his excuse. I didn't even want to play it. That was going to be the first word. But I'm like, we ain't starting this Victory Monday off with that excuse. Oh, well, the clock I was looking at, it went off, came back on. And the clock that Kellen Moore was looking at, a camera got in his way. What? Hey, dog. Hey, Mike, just say, hey, we screwed that part up. We got to get better at it and move forward. That didn't make any sense. But I thought it was a debacle. I thought it was ridiculous. But and Greg the Leg saved the Cowboys. Greg the Leg said, hey, Mike, gonna call in tomorrow, brother. We can call back in tomorrow, Mike Meticulous Details Podcast. I like saying this on YouTube. We gonna get up out of here. I knew Victory Monday we'd go a little long. Y'all know how the shows go, but I like that. I like chatting with y'all, catching up, talking about the game. I had a phenomenal time over at Texas Live, but I promise you, if you're in the DFW area and you don't have anybody to watch the game with, or you want to switch up your game day routine, come through Monday night, next Monday, a week from now. Going to be absolutely bananas at Texas Live for the home opener, Monday Night Football against the Eagles, coming off this victory. Randy Gregory's going to be back. Woo-wee. I'm just saying, it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. I'll get into the chat for a little bit here on the way out. William Anthony says Bones Fossil wanted that longer field goal to make him look better. It was just a ridiculous end of the game, man. It really was. But it worked out. It's not how they wanted it to work out, but it worked out. Nate's talking about Zeke's bread. At this point, though, Nate, right, like the money, it doesn't matter. We're in the season. You're not cutting nobody. You're not trading nobody. You just got to do what's best for the team. And I think what's best for the team is Zeke, TP, better than Zeke or TP. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys, this has been a fantastic Victory Monday. like I said, I'm gonna save the suited and booted for big I'm saying this wasn't a big victory. They gotta love victories, right? But bigger victories, maybe the Eagles, right? The Cowboys go out and beat the Eagles. I might come on here suited and booted, and we'll get it together. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Have fun with that cookout segment. We're going to keep that after game days. Y'all all invited to the cookout. Some of y'all can't sit at the grown folk table though, and over there play the kids. But I like that segment. We'll keep it rolling. I feel like you guys have fun with that segment. And hey, look, anything, if you guys have any, thing you want to see on this channel, on this show, let me know, man. Like I said, hit me up on Twitter. I'm available. I'm always trying to get to people if I can in my DMs, if I remember, or if you just contact me in general with the replies, I try to get to you. So hop on over, Ask Skywalker Still. If you're not on Twitter, you can obviously contact me here. And check out the audio versions of the shows on all the podcasting platforms. We're trying to get that to grow some more. So check all that out, Spotify and whatnot. And A2ZSports.com/Dallas for all of our talented writers who are on there. Again, if y'all would have read Mauricio's article, I think he dropped it that Saturday, you kind of would have got an idea of how to and why to attack the Chargers the way the Cowboys attack the Chargers. So check out A2Z Sports Dallas, man. We're trying to grow the brand and grow the site to be one of those sites, one of the brands, one of the morning shows and evening shows that you come to daily to include in your Cowboys news and whatnot. So keep on supporting, man. Keep on supporting. Hey, Jacob said, looking forward to the barbecue next week. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Might get a little bit of... All right, I'm going to get on up out of here now, man. Appreciate you guys joining me. Instead of pressing the button, we just going to roll with this one right here. You guys were great. Thanks for the calls. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for everything. We up out of here, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drop those fire emojis for me, Ready Red. I'm going to press the button still, though. Cowboys win. We back tomorrow, 8 a.m.-ish. Doesn't matter, though. Give you the fire show. Shout out to Pops in the building. I see you. Shout out to you, Clutch. Appreciate the My Gods. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Monday. Peace.
I want me some glory hole.